Hello, everybody. My name is Dr. Lisa Marnell, and I'm the founder of Kids Master Skills. And today I'm really happy to be here with you. I want to share two informational sheets with you. The first is a breakdown of 5 important components of fine motor skills. Now, we know that our kids need to develop their fine motor skills. They need them for daily activities such as dressing, and they need them in the academic environments as well. So that's the first information sheet that I'm going to share with you. And the second one is very appropriate to the times because today's December 20th. So we're just starting out our winter holiday. And what I also have for you is 10 fine motor ideas that you can do during the holidays at home because we don't want our kids to lose any of the gains that they've made in school or in therapy over the last couple of months. So what I'm doing is I'm going to put a link in the comments, and then you can go to the blog post and actually download the PDFs yourself. So you can get some information about 5 components of fine motor skill and 10 fine motor ideas for the holidays. So let's get started. I wish I could share the visual. You cannot share visuals on Facebook. At least I haven't got that technology yet. But what I'd like to do is start with the first component. And the first component of fine motor skill is shoulder stability. Now, OTs know this, but not all teachers and parents do, I have found. So why would shoulder stability be important for fine motor skill? Think about our shoulders. If our shoulder is moving, if our shoulder is not strong, then if it's kind of loosey-goosey, then we won't have good control of our hands. I like to explain it by saying to picture a tree. So if you have a very strong tree trunk, then the branches will be less, there'll be less movement in the branches. Whereas if you have a tree trunk that is sort of waving a little in the wind itself, then those branches are certainly going all over the place. All right, so it's shoulder stability as the first component. The second component I want to talk about is bilateral coordination, which is just a way of saying two-handed skills. All right, so when we do any types of two-handed activities, we have what's called ultimately a dominant hand. Now that develops slowly over time. When children are younger, around 4 to 5 years old, we start to see a preferred hand. So for me, my dominant or preferred hand is my right hand. And I call this my working hand. Now, my other hand, my left hand, is my helper hand. All right, so when I do any type of activity, suppose I'm cutting with scissors on a paper, then I would cut and I would use my right hand as my working hand and my left hand to hold the paper. So my right hand holds the scissors, my left hand holds the paper. The third component is hand strength. Now with our hand, we have 2 sides of the hand. We have the thumb side, which is actually the sort of precision or sort of the side that we do small, tight little activities. And we have the strength side of the hand, which is actually the pinky side of the hand. So a lot of our hand strength actually comes from the forearm. So that's part of fine motor skill, is to develop the hand strength. We actually get this through a few activities such as finding objects in putty or cutting with scissors. That's a great hand strengthening activity. Now, the fourth component of fine motor skill is tactile perception. So when you think about this, I want to give an example to explain tactile perception. So that is how we feel with our fingertips. How precise are we in how we feel with our fingertips? So let's share an example. When a child is learning to button, they use their vision and they watch their hands as they button. But as an adult or as a teenager, you don't use your hand, you don't use your vision. You can button without looking, and that's from tactile perception. That's because we can feel what our hands are doing. Now, this takes time to develop in children, and also there's another aspect of this, and that is that some children may be oversensitive to tactile perception. So they may not like touching things. I'm actually like that a little bit or a lot bit. Don't like touching, like messy substances or sticky substances or wet substances. Whereas other people are, and that would be oversensitive. undersensitive kids that just like to play in everything. So over time, you kids do develop and improve tactile perception, but it can hinder their development. The fifth part or component of fine motor skill is finger dexterity. And that, as I spoke a little bit before, are the precision movements on the thumb side of the hand. So that would be movements of the thumb and fingers to pick up objects, to hold them, to manipulate them, to put them down and release them again. All right, so as I said, I'm going to put in the comments a link to my blog post, and that didn't work, so I'll do it. I may have to do it after the video. I want to talk quickly about 10 activities for the holidays that are fine motor. So 2 of them have to do with getting ready for a meal and cleaning up after a meal. So the job you can have your child do is to be in charge of containers. So when meal is being prepared, they can be in charge of opening the Tupperware. They can be in charge of opening the stuffing box. They can be in charge of all those types of opening activities, opening tasks. And then at the end of the meal, they can again be in charge of closing things. They could put the top on the lid on the butter. They can put the lid on the Tupperware, that type of thing. Also, they can use a spoon to put leftovers into a Tupperware container. So those are all really great bilateral coordination or two-handed tasks. All right. Also, I would like to talk about the next one, and that is the next 2 can be dish washer and dish dryer. So using safe dishes such as, again, plastic containers, plastic plates, spoons, and forks, they can be in charge of washing those. Kids tend to like this, and it can just be such a feeling of accomplishment for them. The dish drying is a great, both are bilateral coordination tasks, and the dish drying is actually a really great tactile. Both of them are tactile perception tasks as well. All right, gift wrapping. That's an important thing that happens at this time of year. So children can be in charge of cutting the gift wrapping paper. If they have trouble cutting, what I do is recommend having you take a wide black marker and draw a line on the white side of the wrapping paper, and the child can cut along that line to help you. They can also cut out small pieces of wrapping paper and make a collage, because that's really fun, and they could post it on some poster board or some construction paper. And they can also be in charge of tape. Tape is tricky, tearing tape from a dispenser. So that's something that they may need help with, but they certainly enjoy trying it. All right. In regard to the last 4 activities, I'm going to just share the names of these activities. Again, I will link to these, and you'll be able to download these 2 visuals for free. So the last 4 activities are holiday artist, napkin folder, utensil polisher, and the cleanup crew. And this is to do, it's really fun, it's to do with crumpling paper. And I have a few activities where kids can crumple paper, which is very much a hand strengthening and a bilateral coordination activity. All right, so what I'm going to do is, while I still am on this Facebook Live, I'm going to again try to link this in just to see if I can do it right now for you. And it looks like I was hopefully successful. So you should be able to link to that blog post and download a PDF for the 5 components of fine motor skill and a PDF for 10 fine motor ideas for the holidays. All right, so as I mentioned, my name is Dr. Lisa Marnell. I am an occupational therapist. I am happy to say I went to Boston University and graduated there. And in the coming year, hopefully in March, I'm going to be launching a course, and my course is going to be in regard to children with autism. I'm going to share more details as the time gets closer, but a lot of my philosophy, most of my philosophy, is to encourage joy and agency and happiness in the lives of all children. So this is something that I really want to see develop in all kids, and certainly in kids with autism. All right, it has been a pleasure to spend time with you this morning. I apologize if I talk too quickly, something I'm trying to work on, and I wish you all the best holiday. And I'm really excited for 2021, and I'd love you to join my Facebook group or to follow my Facebook page. My Facebook group is, you can find it if you look at Kids Master Skills, Kids Master Skills on Facebook, and if you click on groups, and it should pop up for you. I have some questions, because I really want to develop a a community that is supportive and encouraging to each other. All right, I will end this live and I wish you all the best. Take care.